It is really freaking gross. I hate cleaning up after other people, and it's really bad when you have to do it in the kitchen and they're really nasty people. But gotten some of the cabinets cleaned out. If I want to show you this, I might edit this. Oh my god. Got the tile out of the kitchen. It's a messy job. So I still got to get this sink out. So on this one, you can see this is pretty rotted in here. So I'm worried about this cabinet itself. So I'm probably going to pull the cabinet itself out. The face of these, the cabinet faces look okay. So I'm going to pull those off and put them onto the new cabinet. So if it's not good, I might be able to still use it. We'll see. But you can see this is a rotten mess over here. I'm not even looking forward to pulling this sink out. That will be next, since I did already pull the stove top out. And you can see it's pretty straightforward. You just have a valve down there, turn off the gas, unscrew that. And then there was a couple of clamps up there that were screwed in. And I just unscrewed those and pulled it out of there. We got that sink out, and you can see a better, I don't know if it's better, view of like the damage done. You see this back piece is completely rotted. There used to be wood there, gone right there, and then it's falling apart underneath. This is all falling apart. I'm gonna take this whole board off right here. I'm going to take this cabinet out right here. There's no base of this cabinet at all, so it's just subfloor right there. I'm probably going to have to, once I get this cabinet out, take some of that subfloor out. You can see there's a big old rodent hole right there, if you look right there. So I'm going to have to plug that up. This valve was pretty leaky, so I'm going to have to swap that out. I'm going to probably swap both of them out, to be honest, just to be in good condition here. The only thing I'll probably keep is those stub outs and this stub out. And I'll probably replace all that drywall as well. So a lot of work to do here still. So we took the cabinet out. Right here where the sink was, and you can see it was a complete mess. Mouse or rodent, something was in there. This is all rotted back here. I'm going to have to take all that drywall out. I'm going to mark it right now. I started pulling on it and just started crumbling. I'm going to mark the drywall probably close to that cabinet over there. Probably about halfway right there. Take it all out. I'm going to take some of these tiles out because this board is soft and we need to replace the subfloor. So that's what it looks like with the drywall out. I still have to clean up some of my lines, but for the most part I got it out. That stuff just crumbled, unfortunately. I think the 2x4s are good. I'm still going to take out the subfloor. I'm going to have to pull back some of this tile. But that's going to have to be for another day because I still have a kid in school and I have a regular job, so I'm going to head home. So this is why I wanted to peel that tile back. You see right here, that's good and solid. You can see right here where it's dark, that's wet. When I was prying to get the tile, that's literally, the pry bar just went through there like nothing. What's really crappy is if you look over here, it looks like it goes up under this cabinet. Cabinet looks like it's in pretty good shape, so what we have to do is pull this cabinet out and get that wood up underneath there. Not going to be easy, but it needs to be done. Alright, I took this countertop off in order to see what's going on with these cabinets a little easier. Because I wanted to get that corner out of there so I can work on that floor. So looking at it, you can see this is where the countertop, or I'm sorry, the cabinets hook together. So usually what you want to look at on these is on the inside of these, you'll see the screw in there. So you can see it's screwed in from this side. I checked the other side, there's no screws on that side, so I'm guessing they're all over here. So I'll take those screws out, take the screws out in the back, if there's any on the side over there, and then we should be able to take this little corner section out and then work on this floor some more. With that cabinet out of there, you can see I've opened up a nice can of worms. So I'm going to have to figure out how to take this toe kick out of here. It's still attached to those, which means I might have to take out those cabinets in order to just get that toe kick out. You can see that the damage goes just behind that toe kick here. And then over here, you see it kind of goes up into that cabinet, so I might have to take that cabinet out anyways. All of it is under this tile right here. See, it just continues to get wet back here. It's like it followed the, I wonder if the bottom of the cabinets got soaked and just followed, because it seems like it's right in there along with the cabinets. I'm going to poke at it a little bit, see how solid it is. That area right there really looks like it needs to be replaced. It might be easier just to go all the way to the wall and get it out of there. You can see we got a seam right there. Might be able to utilize that and just follow that all the way across and just take that big section out right here. Still deciding, but luckily the tile's coming up pretty easy. So yeah, can of worms. Alright, so I found, like on the section over here, kind of pushed on it and just was able to get a hole. So I pulled these tiles back, and the wood back here looks pretty solid. So I think I might be able to salvage that. I'll just bleach it and put some kills on top of it. I'm still worried about this area, you can see right there, and then behind the fridge. So I'm going to work on that next. Well, I wasn't planning on taking all the tile out, but here I am. So once you get to a certain point, might as well let it come out. Doesn't look so bad. This is where the fridge was. Looks a little rough, like right in that area. But I think that it's pretty solid. So I'm not going to have to replace it. I'll just have to put some Kills primer over it. I think mainly I'm just going to have to cut this area out right there to about right here, and then maybe that board under the pipe there. That one's going to be a pain, but I'll try and get that. The rest of it looks good subfloor wise, and this is what the tile's looking like. It's coming out fairly easy. I mean as easy as tile comes out. And then what's going to happen is it's just going to come out here, and I'm going to have to take all of this out at some point. What you can do, I'll grab the phone here so I can video this here, is you want to get as close to a joist as you can. So if you can see them, it looks like there's nails. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it on the video or not, but there's nails here. So this is probably where the joist runs, is right there. And so what I'm going to do is get kind of on this side of it, because we want to be halfway through the joist, and I don't want to cut through those nails necessarily. And if I have to cut a little more off, I will. So let's get that done. I already have a seam over here, so I'm just going to cut on this side, try and pry that. And you just hold your guard up out of the way, get where you need to go, and you just drop it down. No power. Well, that was anticlimactic. Obviously can't go all the way to the wall, so we're gonna have to cut that with Sawzall or something like that. I don't know. We'll see what I can do on that. So now I'm gonna try and pry it up a little bit. Get a pry bar and that. Alright, so I got this little side up over here. Now that's wanting to come up all together. I'm going to cut that little corner that I couldn't get to with the big saw. I decided to use my little angle saw here. These are great for getting into corners and edges and undercutting the trim when you're doing floors. So this is a handy little tool. So I'll have to get that little piece at the back there. But here's what we're looking at underneath. I'll start working on this one next here in a second, but you can see it already had the seam here, so that was halfway on the joist, and where I cut that one, about halfway on the joist. So we'll be able to put another board on there and lay it flat, nail it to each side and in the middle. Okay, got the rest of that out of there. So now comes my least favorite thing, and that's working with insulation. Pull all this old insulation out and put the new in. I like this kitchen. It has an open floor plan. Alright, I just did the floors real quick because I want to get the boards on there. It'll be easier to work over there on the drywall. So I'm going to measure up and cut the subfloor and get that in. Okay, that fit pretty well. Big thing was this gap back here. I wanted to make sure that was nice and tight because of that fun little rodent that made a hole over here. So it won't be so easy for them with nice new wood. I'm going to be sealing up the outside holes in the house, any place they can get in. But you can see there's a gap there. It's on the stud there, so I'm going to have to kind of nail it in at an angle on that one. Then I got to kind of find the nails on these and line them up on these. And again, a little gap over there. No big deal. We can work with that. Now we're nailed in. If you see the nails there. And now I'm going to put the fiberglass or the insulation in back in the wall and cut the drywall. Okay, got that drywall on. Not a pretty job, but that's okay. It's going to be behind cabinets. So you can see I had to cut this a little bit wider in order to get around this little corner here. This I cut just a little too tall. I don't know what I was doing there. But great thing about drywall, like I said, it's this drywall is going to be behind the cabinet, but drywall is pretty easy to patch. I actually just did expanding foam all around all these cracks and crevices. Not that it was necessary, but it'll keep any drafts out and any pests out and things like that. So I actually did it behind the drywall there, between the subfloor and the 2x4s. So yeah, next thing we'll be doing is once this dries, I give it about 24 hours. I'll cut it flat and then we'll clean up real good. It's Sunday morning. We're exhausted, but we're gonna go and work on this a little bit more. Gonna get the cabinets in, hopefully. We got these last night, and gonna throw the corner in first and start working out from there. I'm gonna have to cut these off. It's pushing right on the edge. And then one's in the back. Okay, so my expanding foam is in the way. I thought it'd be okay, but I guess not. Just gotta cut it off flat. The counter is going to hang over out from the front anyway, so. Doesn't the counter overhang a little bit on the front?
Yeah, but it's still not 24 inches deep.
Okay. I think it goes all the way back because we screwed the back into the wall.
Okay.
That's typically.
I'll take the corner too. So when you put the next cabinet up there, it's going to stick out to this. Look. It's going to stick out to here.
Oh, because this is a corner piece, is that why?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, that we have to match the front of this and this to where these are out.
Gotcha. And I can't put that one on without cutting the holes. We decided that the corner is not going to work. That corner cabinet's not going to work. It leaves a gap over here, right in here. That's too small for anything. And then, so what we're going to do, Crystal came up with an idea, is to take the face from the old cabinet, buy a new, I think, what did you say, 30-inch, 36-inch, put it over there, attach that face to it. So we'll have our corner still, and then we'll leave this blank. This is going to be our trash. We'll put a face in front of that too. And then 2 sets of drawers over here. And then we'll have there's a narrow pull out for like spices and things like that we're gonna put right in there, right beside the fridge. So we'll see if that works. So that means we get to take things back. Alright, don't mind the noise in the background, we've got a vacuum going, but I think we figured stuff out here. Crystal's modifying the cabinet we bought from Home Depot, putting the face from the other corner in. I'm putting in the sink over here. So what I've done is I just set it about where it's going to sit, and then I marked, if you can see it, I don't see it, I can't see it, but I marked the back where these are going to poke through the cabinet, the plugs, then the 2 water out inlets and the outlet there. All the little things that hold you up. So our fridge is too tall for the hole. So we're gonna have to cut this cabinet. I'm gonna try and attempt to install this sink up here. So this will be a temporary installation. We're gonna live off these plyboard countertops for a little bit until we can get our granite in, but in the meantime we wanted to have a sink. Not a big fan of the single basin sink, so we'll probably replace that sink when we get the stone, but I liked the faucet, so I want to keep that. And then the cutting board was kind of nice too, so, and the price was right, so we went ahead and got it. We can resell the sink later if we decide to take it out and not use it. But the first step is going to be pulling this template out and cutting the countertop. So taking a look at this, you have 2 different options. This is if you want to do an undermount sink, and this is if you want to do an overmount sink, which we were doing the overmount for this temporary setup. It's interesting, if we like the sink, we can just keep it and use it as an undermount. It's kind of cool. You can see the dotted line is actually where the sink rim is going to be. So I get to cut this out at the outer lines there. Put my holes in as well. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to draw around this now with a pencil, and that'll be my cut line. Okay, so I couldn't find a pencil, so I'm using a pen. One thing with the templates, these paper templates, they're floppy, so you try and draw a line and the paper will move, and then you can't get a straight line. So just take a straight edge, or in this case I just grab a board, draw a straight line, and then you have these rounded corners, so you can just kind of round those with your hand. Just like that. So I'm going to go around the rest of it, and then we'll cut it out. So as I'm drawing, I lean over to draw this next line and found my pencil sitting right there. So I'll do the rest in pencil. Time to see if the sink fits. This is a little test fit, and usually it'll go right down in there, but what you have a problem with is these where the clips go will hang up on the outside. So we'll see if I cut it deep enough into this. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. Okay, now you want to put these little clips in. So let's see, I'll get over here so I can describe these. So this part's going to hook underneath the counter, so it'll sit like this. Will be the countertop. It'll sit like that. This part will sit in the sink itself, and this guy, if I can get that in there, this will go in the channel in the sink, and then you'll tighten it under here. So right now, I'm going to put them in there sideways, so that when we put the sink in there, it'll drop in still, and then we'll turn them. We got all those in there. I finger tightened all of them so that when I flip it over, they don't just go sliding out or flipping out of the alignment that I have them in. So go ahead and the sink, and hopefully it still drops in, and it does. That was a good template. Now I'm going to get underneath, turn those each to face towards the counter, and then I'll tighten them up with a flathead screwdriver. Alright, quick game plans. So I was going to go ahead and turn those and put it in here, but I didn't have any silicone to put around the outside of this, so I need to go get silicone. So before I do that, so I can make one trip to the store, I'm going to mock up my garbage disposal, because I need all the piping to go to the wall. So I'll go ahead and mock this up, get it in there, and then I'll know what I need for that as well. Go grab all of it at once. Alright, here's what I'm doing with these clips. So I'm just turning them, and then I finger tighten them. You can see now it's clipped on the board there. Finger tighten it a little bit, and then find the slot, find the slot with the screwdriver, tighten it down. I just went around and did that with all the clips. Now we'll put the faucet in, since the drain won't be in the way. This will make it a little easier. So, just fall, drops in here. I think I'm going to do it this way. And so, this attaches there. And then underneath, you just screw this guy in and tighten it up, and that should be it. So you just had that one ring that's screwed on around the faucet there, and then the two screws, there's one on this side, there's one on the other side like that. You had a flange and a gasket, and that was it. And then I've hooked up the water supplies, and that should be done. Can't turn on the hot water yet because I gotta hook up the dishwasher, so that's next. Okay, so the other day I went to hook up this supply line that they gave us, and that's the supply inlet, and that's the supply line. See the problem there? And of course they don't give you this guy, and this is literally called a dishwasher elbow. So I found this in the Home Depot, aisle 7 on my Home Depot, so good luck finding it. It wasn't in a very obvious place, so I push this rubber seal in. I'm going to put that on there, and then I'm going to put the supply line on here. And of course, the way things go, they gave me a 1/4 inch supply line rather than 3/8, which is what normally is on there. So I can't get a good video of that because of where it's at, but it does not fit. Obviously, 1/4 inch isn't going to fit on 3/8, so I need a new supply line. Yay! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this on, turn the cold water on, test that, then we'll hook this guy up. was at the hardware store. I got the right dishwasher inlet hose with 3/8 ends. So I'm gonna put that on and run it in there and run the drain hose as well. Alright, I didn't do a good job of filming this because I was getting tired. It's like 10 o'clock at night here now. But we got the extension, like I said, cut. That's slipped in there. Everything's good there. We hooked up the dishwasher. It's still in plastic, but we have it hooked up. I got the dishwasher inlet hooked up. The water's on. You can see there's no water leaking. Yay! Hopefully it doesn't leak within the next couple days. I'll keep an eye on it. You got to punch a hole. There's a little stopper in that, dude. So you punch that out, put that dishwasher outlet on, and otherwise that's all done, and we're good to go. You can see I got good running water in here, and drain good. My disposal works, and everything looks good. Yay, we have a sink. So, good temporary solution. This is going to be up in here for a while until we get our countertops, and then if we like this sink, we'll just undermount it because it does have an undermount option. If we don't like it, then we'll just keep the faucet and get a different sink. So now that I have my sink and my dishwasher all installed, we discovered that the clean out behind here is busted. I tried to screw the cap back on, and the bottom piece, it's hard to see, and I didn't even notice it at first. That bottom piece is busted off. You can see where the threads start right there, and then that's all busted right there. So I'm gonna have to take this whole section out, which means I'm gonna have to pull the sink, cabinet, and dishwasher, while the dishwasher lines out, and cut into the wall again. Fun times. So we got the countertop out, pulled these things out. Now I'm gonna cut this back. It looks like a clean out is right about here. And if I remember right, that's how I remember it. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the sheetrock out right there. I might go through some of the old videos just to look and see if I see it, but we'll give that a shot. So this is what we got. You can see it's leaking on the inside of the wall there. This is the clean out facing out to the outside there. Yeah, this is not going to be too easy to replace because you got unions here, and unions there. I don't know what's under that. So I might have to go under the house, cut it off under there, cut it off right here, and then rebuild all that. Not fun. I totally messed up on the video part of this. So I yesterday was able to fix the leak that was over here, and now I put the drywall back on, and I'm not taking it off just to show you. So essentially I just rebuilt that section right there. Had to attach this, so I detached this from the stud so I could swing it out, and then I attached the piece to it, swung it back in, slid it down just a little bit, put some ABS glue on, and it's good. Let's take a look at the outside. You can see I squirted some expanding foam around it. That's what it looks like out here. It's not going to leak out here anymore. It's not going to leak into the wall anymore. So we should be in good shape. I'll have to clean up that foam so I can take that cap off, but that shouldn't be hard. That stuff, once it's dry, it's pretty easy to work with. Alright, now with all that back together, cleaned up a little bit. There's still a little mess here and there, but I am going to attempt to put the stove in. So this is a gas stove. I will have to convert it to propane. That's what we have out here. We don't have a downdraft for it, so I'm going to have to get one separate, so I'll probably put a cap on that for now. You can see we already have the gas pipe in there. That's good. Power's right there. So should be pretty straightforward, just cutting out the hole and dropping it in and hooking it up. So this one didn't have a template, so I'm just setting it over the existing 30-inch hole, and then I'm going to mark on each side and go ahead and cut it. Alright, I got it in there. Now I'm swapping everything out to make it propane. One of the things you got to do, as you can see, these two are both white, what they call spuds, and so the one on the right is for propane, which is a much smaller opening there than the one on the left, which is white for the natural gas. And I took that one out of there, and you can see a little white dot off to the right there. So I'm going to just swap the propane in there and do that for each of these. And then the other thing I had to do was on this guy. You got to take the cap off, and then there's a spring retainer in there. You flip it, and that turns it into a LP gas regulator. Okay, hooked up the gas line, and you can see a little water back there I sprayed. It was soapy water just to make sure we got no leaks. And I turned it on and nothing happened, but you gotta remember, gas has to fill the line, so nothing to worry about. There it is, running in pretty flame.